Hi and welcome to another Patreon video. This is for May 2018. Just a quick note as to what happened. Okay, so I think in the last Patreon video I spoke about how I'm going on hiatus. My hiatus is now officially going to end starting Tuesday, so I'm going to be going back to work. But this month I've gotten quite a bit done. A lot of artwork was drawn. Let me take a look at what I'm going to be talking about here. So there's going to be, I'm just going to show you some of the artwork that I did. I did finish a postcard. Before I finished this video, I kind of really worked on it for the last couple of weeks to be able to get it done so that I could record this video and actually show the physical thing on camera. Also, there's been a lot. This was the first month where I, thanks to patron Gallo Viking, who had a coaching session with me for a month before he got way too busy. He was able to turn me on to the fact that Patreon and a program called Discord, which is usually used for chat for video for video games, can be connected to Patreon so that my patrons and I can have our own private channel and talk. And everybody who was already a Discord connected to Discord immediately just became connected to that channel. And every morning I've been doing my warm-up drawings on camera, on video, live with the Patreon community, and it's been really great. I got to know so many people. It's been a lot of fun. And it's been kind of an international kind of a thing because I'm working in the morning and everybody else seems to be working in the evening. We've got a lot of people in Europe working alongside myself, and actually it's really odd because it's the people in the Western Hemisphere, the people in the U.S. that have not been able to connect because when it's morning for me, it's afternoon for them, while in Europe it's evening and it's like after when they're all winding down. It's interesting little dynamic that occurs. And that's been great, and I've been getting in one of the conversations that I've just recently had from Soul Reaver Foe is that he suggested some things that I ought to do to create even more value for patrons. I'm going to lose him as a patron because there's only so many finances, and he's going to go and he's receiving classes. So he wants to be able to get those classes done. And for me, but one of the things that he suggested were some things that I could do that would be really interesting specifically for patrons, something that he kind of wished I was doing. And one of the things that I like the fact that he did that was because sometimes I don't know what you guys are thinking might be cool. That's something that you want to see me do, or something that will be exclusive to Patreon. And so that you're part of a more grander club. And he wasn't sure he should suggest these things to me. And I said, I told him that there's no harm in suggesting them because it might be something that I could do and never thought to do and I want to do. And if it isn't something I want to do, that's also okay. But the point is that what if it is something I would want to do? And it is something I could do and I would want to do, and it was never suggested to me, and it would have never occurred to me, and I really appreciated that he did that. And I was also talking to Steve, who also gave me that we were talking about with Steve. We were talking about this a lot too. So so there was a lot of talk about things like that, but there was also a lot of art talk, a lot of nerdy talk, a lot of video game talk, and just all kinds of stuff. So it's good, and I'm gonna attempt to continue doing a little bit of that chat every morning. I'm gonna see how it goes now that I'm gonna be going back to work. I won't have as much access to it, but we'll see if I could keep going with that, or make special days where I just sit down and do that. So let's get down to the rewards for today, and believe it or not, like most of the stuff you're going to see, well, a lot, not most of it, but a lot of what you're going to see as rewards, I did on Discord while talking and chatting live. So the first thing I'm going, so here we've got the new Black Terror Kid comic strip. Now originally this was going to be a fully painted comic strip, and the reason I was going to do that was just to test myself to see if I could do a painting of a cartoon. I ended up doing that with so many other prior artwork pieces that I decided that this comic strip didn't need to be painted. So I went back to the way that I usually do Black Terror Kid comic, which is a little bit more cell shaded style, and I just finished off the coloring the comic strip in a simpler style, and it doesn't suffer for it, and I think that it works fine. And so here it is, the Black Terror Kid comic strip that I've been wanting to do, and the reason I created this comic strip was to create a towel, put it on a towel so I could take it to the beach, because I wanted a comic strip towel. So that's why it's beach themed. So now I'm going to order a towel as soon as I get back to work and I have some kind of money coming in. I am going to print this out on a towel. It's on my Society 6 store, so I will have a link on the YouTube, or I will have a link to this video, description of this video, to that store if you so inclined to also get a towel of this comic strip. But that's really the reason I did this comic strip, is just to have it printed on a towel so I could have a comic strip towel. I used to have a Blondie comic strip towel, and it is destroyed. I used it so much it is now destroyed, and I wanted something to replace it, and there was no comic strip towels that I could find online, so I decided to make my own, and here it is. Let's continue. Okay, so the last of the Bruce Timm turnarounds is here. Okay, so here we have head turn of a character. It's not my favorite head turn, but it's good enough for now. I may have to make adjustments on my own, and it's a good enough head turn for now. I think I could have done a better face. I'm not exactly happy with the face, but this is just for me so I could have a model sheet of my character when I draw her. It should save me some time on some of the proportions, and then I'll make my own adjustments as I go. And here she is, full body, full the back and the front, and here she is with her skull pajamas. And all silver patrons will get a PSD file of these drawings as well. So I took the time to take some of the older drawings that I had done that were in black and white, and I thought that I wanted to make more color pieces so that when I go to shows and things like that, I have more colored pieces of characters that I've drawn instead of just a black and white version. So I decided to do a color piece of some of the prior drawings that I did, and this I did while on Discord talking to people, and then this was again, a Discord conversation. Somebody mentioned Conan, and I said, you know what? I feel like drawing a little Conan, and so I drew a little Conan. This is officially a sticker in my Society 6 store. If you want to get it, it's called Barbarian Boy. So if you want a sticker of this Conan, you can have a sticker of this Conan. And yeah, I will provide a link to my store so you can see what all the stuff that's there. And then we've got Starfire, a colored version of the black and white Starfire that I had drawn and sent off as a gift on Patreon. When I was doing these drawings, I had still my postcards were all still in black and white. And Supergirl, again, this is another drawing that was I did while on Discord. And then we've got turnarounds here for the Takahiro Kimura anime style. And then I drew this. This I did not do necessarily on Discord. This is actually a little project that I did for my wife. She asked me to do an urban wizard. So I did that for her. She's going to turn it into a book cover. The book cover is for no book in particular. So if you're an author and your character kind of looks sort of like this, my wife was going to be using this, going to make a book cover for any urban fantasy novel that you need a cover for. We're gonna be putting it up for sale whenever she's done, and I will let you know when that is out. This is the scan, and everybody will receive the scan of the postcard that I actually finished. I finished it earlier this morning on Discord while chatting with Steve and Soul Reaver and Gala Viking. So we were all kind of on Discord. Am I missing somebody that was there this morning? I don't remember. But so here we go. So this is the postcard that I will be giving away this month, and I will tell you who wins the postcard a little later. But before I do, I just wanted to show you. So this is the digital ink version, but the final version was hand inked. This is a hand inked version, and this is this is the digital version. And what I did was I printed out multiple copies on a crappy sheet of paper. This crappy sheet of print paper, and then I did some thumbnail coloring on this to try to have a running start, so that I could do this final and be happy with it. And this was a terrible idea to do it on this type of paper. It was unhelpful in the worst way possible. Like, I just wrinkled the paper. The paper was ripping up on me. It was terrible. And nothing I was doing was coming out. And I think part of it also was because I was still trying to figure out what I wanted this piece to look like. But it didn't help that whenever I put the brush down on the paper, even without any color, the paper immediately became gray. So that meant that whenever I actually put any strokes with pigment on the paper, it would become a gray, ugly mess. And it was only until after the paper dried that I was actually able to see what I had done. The result of it was bad. So I decided to reprint more versions. Now that I had all the way down to here, I had like one left, and I was like, forget it. And I printed it out on cardstock, and I did this, and it was night and day, night and day. Here's the cardstock version. It definitely. I saw what I was doing immediately. I saw the results I was getting. I was able to decide what was working, what was not working, way faster. Doing it on the correct paper. So yeah, when it comes to watercolor, because this is watercolor pencils that I was using. When it comes to watercolor, yeah, the paper is practically everything. Like you just, if you don't have the right paper, it's just horrible. So you're gonna get copies of my thumbnail sketches, and you're gonna see the process. It took me a while to I ended up going with a little something like this, but I liked the face here, and I liked the way that the hand came out here, and then I kind of worked out the chest a little bit better in this one. So it's all over the place, but I was able to decide how I was going to approach the drawing with the thumbnail, using the thumbnails. And that's the rewards for this month. And I just thought I'd let you know who won the postcard today. It's going to be one of the people I coach, actually. It's Ingrid Hayek. Ingrid, you get to win the postcard this month. Now, this is the first time one of the people that I'm coaching actually won a postcard. And just to let you know how I'm treating the coaching clients, because coaching is a really high tiered what's the word, level, and it's a high tier on Patreon. Usually what I do is, depending on your Patreon contribution, is your entries into the giveaway. But if I include that, if I do that with the coaching clients, they basically win every month. Like, they dominate, because they'd have, I don't know, almost 10 times more entries than many of the patrons, and 100 times more entries than some of the lower tier patrons, and it would be completely, it's a bit imbalanced. So the way I'm approaching this is that the person, the tier that has that's the highest outside of the coaching that a patron is on is where I put all the coaching clients. So if my highest would be platinum, then all the coaching clients would be in platinum level as far as entries. If it's silver level, then all my coaching clients will be at silver level as far as entries. And that's, I think, kind of evens everything out, so that everybody still has a chance, and the coaching clients don't just take all the postcards. So that's how I thought I should solve that little bit of a dilemma, just in case you wanted to know. So yeah, so this is I'm going to be sending this off to you, Ingrid, and that's the story from me this month. I really did get a lot done, and surprisingly, a lot of stuff didn't get done, which I am kind of saddened about. There is so much. I finished writing the Drafu book, the second one, and I started putting it together, and it's a lot of work. I took a break from it because it was just it's just so much work. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to just inch my way through making that book available for everybody, and then everybody who is at the right tier on Patreon is going to get their name put on it with a big thank you for having done so. And that includes like past patrons who are no longer patrons, but they had contributed at that tier in the past. Okay, so thank you so much for being a patron. I hope that moving forward, the rewards are going to be a little bit more exclusive. That means that the people on YouTube are going to get a little bit of an abridged version of a lot of the stuff that the patrons are going to get. You will get what the patrons get, but you're going to get it smushed. Beginning in not next week, but in a few weeks, I'm going to start doing that, juggling, changing a little bit of what the patrons get to see video-wise, and what the YouTube channel gets to see video-wise, because I think that it will create more of an appreciation for the videos that I make. Because right now, even on YouTube, there's whenever I do a very deep, in-depth video, it doesn't get all that many views because I don't think people value it. And so I want to give it only to the people who want to value it, who are interested in it. Because when you give something that is got a lot of extreme value to people for free, they don't see it as valuable. But even if you charge $1 suddenly because you've put a stake in there, you've put $1 down to be able to see it, you will watch it because you've put something down to be able to have the privilege to watch it. And if you don't want to watch it, you don't put the $1 down. You see what I'm saying? And so then you don't get the value because you don't find it valuable. So I think that's the direction I'm going to start going in, and the videos will be far more. The videos that are in depth on YouTube, moving forward, I'm going to be putting those more exclusive to patrons, and I'm going to give on YouTube there we're going to get the light version of it. It won't be in depth. It will be a summary or a general video where I will go over a lot of information, but it won't be as deep as the patron videos. Alright, so thank you so much for being a patron. I really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Alright, bye.